like you said, the next 3 weeks they're going to be in the spotlight. And I think with the injury situation, this is the one where it's like, hey, the expectation isn't to put on a show for everybody while you're in the spotlight. This one is like, don't trip on your way out to the middle of the stage.
We have a low bar when it comes to the Texans on the road because they haven't really performed that well. Now, they went in and smacked the Patriots around, and thankfully they did that. But they went up to Minnesota and got their ass kicked, and then we led into the Green Bay game with just don't get embarrassed. I believe that was even a clip on YouTube and Instagram. Hey, I'm not asking for much. Just don't get embarrassed. And they gave us that. Nearly won the game. This week, or tonight, excuse me, just win and come back healthy, right? That's all I'm asking for. I don't care how it happens. We've already set what the challenge is for them in regards to who they're missing, all the intangibles, and maybe even a lot of the tangibles favoring the Jets, at least tonight. If you scrap and find a way to win some game 20-17, ugly, you create 4 turnovers, you kick a lot of field goals, whatever it is, just win the game. And tomorrow, when I'm out at Bobcat of Houston in Lamarck, you ain't going to hear anything from me about, well, they didn't pass the eye test. We've already had that discussion, and that can be a discussion for a different day, the day they play the Lions. We can have a real discussion about, are they one of the best teams in football when they face the Lions and they have that game at home. Tonight's the first of 3 straight primetime games for the Texans. So the stories nationally were about the Texans and them not living up to what people thought they were going to be. They're going to get 3 straight weeks where all eyes are on them. So there'll be even more scrutiny for them to see. And they'll get Nico Collins back, it looks like, after today's game. So at least they'll have their number 1 back for the big games against the Jets. And the Cowboys aren't good, but there'll be a lot of attention either way. So all eyes on the Texans the next 3 weeks, and they got a shot to not the changing the narrative about what people think of them matters, because even then it'd still be what we still got a good portion of the season to go, and things can change.
Yeah, it'd still be like week 11.
Yeah, that doesn't matter so much, but for their own benefit, maybe there's a self belief that permeates and doesn't matter how the games go, but you don't want to get beat by another contender, particularly not the way you got beat by Minnesota. But you would like, one's coming home. The last time you had a contender at home, you beat them. You had a really good first half, and then the second half got a little squirrely. You'd like a complete performance against the Lions, but that's a week plus away. Tonight, win the game.
Yes.
Just win it. However it happens, you got to run for 180, and the Jets are incompetent offensively, and that's the way you win. Cool. I don't care how it happens.
Like you said, the next 3 weeks they're going to be in the spotlight. And I think with the injury situation, this is the one where it's like, hey, the expectation isn't to put on a show for everybody while you're in the spotlight. This one is like, don't trip on your way out to the middle of the stage. Like, just do not fall over on your way over there, because if you fall over, then you got to recover, and you have to recover when you're playing the Lions on Sunday Night Football. That's not good.
The Lions have the Packers this week, but they have put up a lot of points the last 4 weeks. So many points. So they are a team that's feeling good and should, for the most part, believe to be the best team in football. The Chiefs will hold the Chiefs, and they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That they will have that they'll fit in that tier, the Chiefs tier. Mm-hmm. But if we're just judging by who's playing well and compared to the rest of the league, the Lions overall have played the best football this year, even with the 1 loss. So we'll see that. We'll see them against the Lions, like I said, in a week plus. Not this Sunday, obviously, but next Sunday. Lions, Texans, big game. But let's get to Keith. Keith normally has potential street free agent acquisitions a team could make, and maybe the Texans need one. What's up, Keith?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Obviously, Texas is shorthanded at wide receiver tonight, heading into New York to play the Jets. just was curious, assuming Tank Dell leads the Texans in targets tonight as the new number one in the meantime, how would you, kind of rank the next guys in line in terms of production? Do you think, Hutchinson, Woods, or Mechie gets the second most targets on the team? Is it potentially a Dalton Schultz game? But which receiver of those second-tier guys, Hutchinson, Woods, even, throw in Steven Sims if you want, and obviously, Woods, Mechie, and Hutchinson, who's going to lead who's going to get second in targets there?
So you mentioned Dalton Schultz. I would probably have him as my definite number 2, but since you did kind of limit it to receivers.
I was going to say Mixon.
That's another guy that Mixon in the past game. We won't have, by the way, injury reports out. Damian Pierce won't be playing.
Yeah, no Pierce.
So it'll be a Dare and
J.J.
Taylor and Joe Mixon game for the Texans. So I have more hope for Hutchinson. I think that guy played really well in the preseason, and he made the play. He made a big play in the last game. I don't know why I have a feeling that Robert Woods is going to get a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. That veteran thing, guys lean on that. Well, coaches do at least. I think there's a shot that Robert Woods pops in with like 4 or 5. I don't think we're going to have a big day from anyone.
Yeah, I think Woods, Hutchinson, out of the receivers, is the two most. I don't see a way, or not a way, but I don't see the game plan where John Mechie is second to Tank Dell in targets.
I agree. I don't see that being a
He's
thing. The
one where I don't see him leading the pack out of those. Now he could have the biggest play. He could have the one where he catches the ball, breaks a tackle, and has a 25-yard gain, and no one else has that. But other than maybe Dell, I hope, or else.
If not tonight, win for Tank Dell.
But I think it's between Woods and Hutchinson if we're taking out Schultz, because I think Schultz is probably the safest bet there.
Yeah, I feel like it's
because that's what happened last year.
Yeah, I feel like it's run the ball a lot, try to target Tank as much as you can, and then find Dalton Schultz, which may be your leading receiver considering what the Jets have at corner. Is any Texan going to have a great day when they can use Sauce and DJ Reed and hold as much as they want? I might lean on a Mixon Schultz joint as far as who's going to be the bigger contributors as far as the Texans are concerned.